Hey everybody, Mountain Grandma here. Today I'm going to show you how to make herbal-infused oil. And there are 4 different ways to do this. I'm going to share with you 4 different ways. We'll talk a little bit about herbs that you might want to use and oils you might want to use and why the heck you want to do this in the first place. So let's get started.
Okay, let's talk about oils first. You could use any one of these oils depending on the purpose for your infused oil. A lot of people infuse oils to cook with. So walnut oil, sesame oil, olive oil would be good to maybe infuse ginger, for example, to make a base for your salad dressing. These other oils you see, like castor oil, this would be like for medicinal purposes, right? Maybe a pain oil, like the one that I'm working on for our dog and also for people. I've got those going at the same time. Maybe grapeseed and avocado oil because you want these for some sort of, topical use for cosmetic purposes. For example, I make my own face oils and I'm infusing these oils, both of them I'm using right now to infuse some herbs. So just notice the oils have to be liquid. You could do coconut oil as long as it's what we call a 76 coconut oil, which just means that it's liquid at room temperature. Your oils need to be liquid at room temperature in order to do this. You can infuse any herbs pretty much. We talked about ginger. You could do cayenne pepper. I mean, those might be great in a salad dressing, and they're also both really good for pain. Thinking about what your end result is. What do you need it for? My main point about herbs is make sure they're dry. That's what I suggest and always do. You can infuse fresh herbs, but if it's leaves, just make sure, or flowers, make sure they're wilted first. What you want to avoid is moisture coming from those plants if they're fresh. I prefer dried, that way I don't have to worry about it. The process for infusing the herbs is actually quite easy. You just pour your herbs into a jar and you're going to want to make sure you cover it with oil. You're going to want a good 1-inch headspace on the oil from what you put in there. Also, I like to leave it sit for a little bit and shake it up. Make sure that that oil is well soaked into those herbs before I begin one of the methods for infusion. There are 4 methods to infusing oils. I'm using the stovetop method and a double broiler. As you can see, it's not a fancy double broiler, it's just an old pot, and I have a clay tile down at the bottom of it. This is my trusty little pot I use for infusing oils. It serves all my double broiler purposes. With this stovetop method, you'll want to shake your jars every now and then, have your heat set to low, and heat this for 2 to 4 hours if it is leaves or flowers, up to 8 hours if you're heating roots. You can also use your Crockpot to infuse herbs. When using your Crockpot, put it on low heat. You'll want your water up to, not all the way up to the top of your jars, but make sure they're sufficiently covered. Set your Crockpot to low and heat for 10 to 12 hours. There's also the countertop method. You can have your herbs sitting on the countertop and you'll want to shake them every day. And it will take 3 to 4, even as much as 6 weeks if you really want to make sure they're infused well. So slow way to go, but that's still an option. And the solar method. Have them sitting on a sunny window. Shake every day. And you're going to leave these sitting on the windowsill for as much as 2 to 4 weeks. Here I've got my licorice root that is draining at this point. I'll have it drain. I make sure that you clean your containers well. I like to spray them with alcohol and just wipe them out after I've washed them, just to make sure that they're sterile and clean. And I'll go ahead and strain this, and I will strain it again using cheesecloth. First time around, I just use a really good strainer for that, and then I use the cheesecloth. When making your labels, make sure that you include the name of the herb and the name of the oil that you used as well. I like to include the Latin name for some of the herbs that I use, and also the date that you created this oil. Once you have your labels affixed, you can store these in a dark place at room temperature. They will last as long as the oil that you use to make them will last. To extend that time frame, you could also put them in the refrigerator.
And that's it. This is super easy. Anybody can infuse herbs and oil. Please, in the comments down below, I hope you all will share with me, have you infused herbal oils before? And if so, what herbs and oils did you use and what was your goal? And if you have any questions or you plan on infusing any herbs, share that also. I would love to hear what you all got going. Remember everyone, with everything going on in this world, keep your joy, folks. See you on the next one.